Hey, what's up, my man?
Hello, hello. All right. Welcome to episode number 3 of the Money Power Invest Show. I'm your host, Montique Shelton, along with my co-host, Terrence Dubois. And how you doing today, Terrence?
Man, pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. I can't complain.
That's good, man.
No one listens anyway, so no,
You're
no,
right.
no,
You're
no,
right.
no need to complain.
Tell me
So
about it.
absolutely. So, we again, for those of you that don't know, maybe it's your first time listening in. This show is about educating and inspiring and starting the conversation about finances and money and credit and real estate and stock market and 401ks and life insurance, all different type of things like that. So that's the purpose of the show. And we just want to keep the conversation started, get the conversation started, and keep the conversation going. And we want to educate and inform and elevate people and empower people to be able to take their financial life to the next level. All right. So a little bit about myself. I started in the banking industry. Worked in HSBC Bank for around 17 and a half years. I was the partner in the car dealership for a couple years. I worked as a loan underwriter. I also was a loan processor. I also worked as a sales manager at a major Toyota dealership and a Hyundai dealership. So I did, and a lot of other things that I'm leaving out. Entrepreneur, real estate, did a bunch of different things, dabbled in a lot of different things. So again, this is for the people that haven't watched the show before. Just a little bit about myself. And Terrence, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yes. So Terrence Dubois is born and raised here in Buffalo, New York. Been in the financial service industry for the last 21 years. I actually currently have my Series 7 license, which is the stockbroker's license, or I passed the stockbroker's exam. I have my Series 63, New York State Life and Health Insurance. And I more so actually have my own financial services firm. When me and my wife actually run that together. And my thing is, I really just want to educate as many people as I can. So we actually are in the process of actually coaching other individuals as well to basically do the same thing that we do. And I just want to help, pour my information and knowledge into, as many people as I can. And this is actually one of the reasons why we actually started this podcast. So I'm
Mhm.
grateful that we actually linked up together to actually, educate everyone else about, what we do and just spread the masses.
Absolutely. And just so everyone's aware, this show is for educational purposes only.
Yes.
So this is not financial advice. If you need to seek out financial advice, you can seek out your local attorney, your local CPA, and different professionals like that. So we're just giving our opinion about the subjects that we do speak about. And Terrence, you do have a license, so you do have to do your disclaimer, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. So although I do actually have my license to basically do financial planning, this show is based just for educational purposes only. This is not intended for investment advice. So please, as Montique mentioned, basically contact, your local advisor, your local tax profession, whatever the case may be. But this is definitely for educational purposes and not intended for advice.
All right, so we're gonna get the show kicked off with the first segment, which Terrence will go over the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. So the floor is yours,
Yes.
Terrence.
Yes. So I first wanted to talk about a lot of people, even like one of my friends actually called me the other day and asked me what was the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. And really, if you to break it down to the lamest terms, a traditional IRA is more so like your traditional 401k, where that money is basically taken out before you even receive your paycheck. So when you're thinking about a traditional IRA, you want to think about before taxes. And the Roth IRA is basically the opposite. It's after taxes. And I would tell anyone, and this is more so just educational purposes again, anyone who basically has a job and they earn less than $140,000 per year, everyone should actually have a Roth IRA, because what that does, it more so allows you to pull this money out tax free when you do decide to actually pull it out for retirement. So that's really the advantages and the differences of the traditional IRA and Roth IRA. One is before taxes, traditional IRA. The second one, Roth IRA, is basically after tax. And now you see a lot of your employers give you the option to do either a 401k traditional IRA or Roth 401k is basically the same thing. So it's either going to be before taxes or after taxes. And it just depends on, if you want to reduce your taxable income, you more so want to do the traditional IRA or the traditional 401k. If you want to more so just say, you know what, I'll pay taxes at a later time. Well, that's actually the traditional, I'm sorry. But if you more so just say, you know what, basically take those taxes out now. So therefore, when I do pull it out, that'll be the Roth IRA or the traditional, the Roth 401k. And that's really the main differences of those. And even as far as the dollar amount vary each year. I know last year it basically was the same. So with that traditional IRA and the Roth IRA, the most you can contribute is $6,000 per year. So definitely take advantage of those programs, but figure out which one would be the best for you by speaking with your tax consultant first.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when you say an IRA, what's the difference? Oh
no.
okay.
And you know what I'm saying IRA, but IRA means individual retirement account.
Individual retirement account. Okay. So an individual can get a IRA if they're working or not. Do you have to have a job, a traditional job, to have an IRA?
No, not necessarily. So the thing is, with a traditional IRA, you can actually have that, but it will reduce your taxable income. The Roth IRA, in order to basically contribute into that Roth IRA, you need to basically have earned income, and someone as young as 14 can basically contribute to a Roth IRA. So I would say for your children who basically are listening to this, or the parents who listen to this, make sure that you tell your child to basically open up a Roth IRA, or more so, you take your child to open up a Roth IRA, because that money will come out when it's time for them to retire. I mean, they can basically easily generate $1 million worth of money just by making like one deposit when they're 14, between 14 and 16. So the thing is, the information is out there. Just got to take, the information, take heed with it, and just run with it. But you can definitely become a millionaire just by, making those simple deposits and letting that money compound over time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Another question about IRAs. Is there a limit to the amount of money that you can have in an IRA per year?
Well, the contribution is basically $6,000 per year. But the thing is, within the market, if the market takes that, if you do take that $6,000 and put into the account, and the market appreciates and it goes to 10, there's no dollar amount as far as what your balance can be, but the limit per year is actually $6,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's a great thing to start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And one more question.
Sure.
How does the IRA different from a 401k?
It's more so, it's kind of similar. I mean, if you really think about it, the 401k just allow you to put more money into that retirement account. So I generally tell people, if they have an option to do the 401k or a traditional IRA, I would say do the one through your employer, because you can actually contribute more into that retirement plan. But then also is a forced savings account. So before you even receive your paycheck, that money has already been taken out of your paycheck to put into your 401k.
Okay.
Whereas the IRA, it's only $6,000. So I mean, you can easily put that $6,000 in there if you basically make consistent investments, bi-weekly or monthly. So if you have the option to do it through your employer, you definitely want to take advantage of that first.
Oh, okay. All right. Absolutely. Very good information. Do you find people resistant to getting an IRA, or intimidated by the IRA, or understanding it? Is it, you understand where I'm going? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Everyone, if they don't have any knowledge about this information, yes, they will actually feel a little bit intimidated by it, because they don't know, first of all, if they can actually trust you, or if this person is basically giving you sound advice. So the thing is, and when you're talking about IRAs, there is a bank IRA, and then there's a brokerage IRA. Usually when you're dealing with a brokerage IRA, you basically can earn double-digit rate of returns, which means, hey, if you invest into an IRA and you're investing in mutual funds, stocks, bonds, whatever the case may be, that may generate a double-digit rate of return, where that money that you put into that retirement account is earning you 10, 12, 20%, whatever the case may be. But when someone, and this is typically, I've seen this a lot even when I was working in the bank, someone may retire, let's say from Ford or GM, and they say, you know what, I'm going to basically roll my money into the bank, because that's where they have that relationship at. They see them day in, day out when they actually make their transactions. But when they actually put that money into the bank, if that person is not actually at your local bank, if they don't have their investment license, they're putting your money into a bank IRA, which is typically either a bank IRA, CD, or money market account. and those generally earn less than 1 to maybe 2%. So
Wow.
those are really not the best idea for anyone, because they got to keep in mind that inflation has been roughly 3% for the last 30 years or so. So if they're not beating inflation, they're basically losing money, even though that money is basically there. They're just losing purchasing power.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Well, Terrence, thank you for that information.
Time.
If you guys have any questions about IRAs or additional questions or follow-up questions from this segment, we have a email address that you can reach out to us at. It's moneypowerinvest@gmail.com. That's moneypowerinvest@gmail.com. So if you have any questions about IRAs or even 401ks, or even starting saving money for retirement, please send an email to moneypowerinvest@gmail.com.
Yep.
Also, all right. So again, thanks for that important information, Terrence. So next we're going to move into another subject. We're going to talk about credit. One of my favorite subjects to talk about. So we're going to talk about accessing your credit reports. I get a ton of questions about how to be able to obtain your credit report. Some of these methods I'm going to speak about is free, and some of these methods are that you have to pay for. All right. So I'll start out with the first way to access your credit reports. The very first way that you can access your credit reports is through Credit Karma. Credit Karma is a website that offers all the consumers in the United States access to their credit reports for free. All you have to do is sign up for a free account. It doesn't cost you any money. You don't need your credit card information, anything like that. It's free for you to access it. And the thing about Credit Karma is you get access to 2 of your credit reports, TransUnion and Equifax. So you only get access to those 2 credit reports through Credit Karma. So that's TransUnion and Equifax. All right. Now you also get 2 credit scores with that as well. Now the 2 credit scores that you get with that are what's called Vantage scores. Vantage scores are not official FICO scores. They're not the scores that most lenders use when they're making lending decisions for credit cards, personal loans, business loans, mortgages, car notes, things like that. So the score, just keep in mind, when you look on Credit Karma, the score that you're seeing is very different than if you were to go, like, let's say, into a dealership and they tell you what your credit score is going to be completely different than what you think it is by looking at Credit Karma. All right. So just keep that in mind, that although you have access to the reports are the same. The reports are actually things that is your credit report for those 2 credit bureaus. Just keep in mind, those credit scores are not actual credit scores used in lending decisions by the majority of banks in this country. All right. So Credit Karma is the very first source that you can get your credit report for free. The second source is you can go to annualcreditreport.com. That's annualcreditreport.com. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can actually, it'll be in the link in the description of this video. So you can access that there. So everything that I'm talking about here with Credit Karma, with Annual Credit Report, and the other free way to access it, which I'll include in the description also. All right. So Annual Credit Report. Annual Credit Report gives you access to all 3 of your credit reports. Excuse me. You don't get access to your credit scores. There's no credit scores involved when you get your annual credit reports. All right. So just keep that in mind. So again, you get all 3, and right now you can get access to all 3 for free once per week until April of 2022. So that's basically a year from now. Every American has access to their credit reports for free, and it updates once a week. So every Friday, if you want to go check your credit reports for all 3 credit bureaus, you can do that for free. And again, it's because of the pandemic. That's the reason why it's free. It's because of the pandemic. So until April of 2022, at least. It could get extended. If we have another stimulus bill, it's very possible that it does get extended. So you pretty much, guys, you have a year from today, pretty much, where you can go every single week and have access to your credit reports. So you don't have to pay for it. It's totally free. That's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. No credit score. You don't get a credit score, but you get the information that's on your credit reports for free. All right. So that's annualcreditreport.com. And again, like I said, it'll be in the description of this video if you're watching it on YouTube. All right. So that's the second way to get access to your credit reports. The third way to get access to your credit reports is through a site called Identity IQ. All right. Identity IQ is a credit monitoring service, and it costs $24.99. Well, it'll be $24.99 with the link that I include in this video. It's $24.99 if you click the link. It's like $29.99 if you go directly through Identity IQ. All right. So you'll save $5 by clicking on the link in the YouTube description. So again, it's Identity IQ, and you get access to all three of your credit reports for $24.99. You get 3 credit scores with that. Again, they're not FICO scores. They're the Vantage scores. Vantage, VANTAGE, Vantage scores. All right. So you don't get official. They're not official scores, but at least you have access to the reports. And they also, it's a monitoring service. So they'll send you emails every time there's a change on your credit report. So for $24.99, you have access to all 3 of your credit reports, and you also have monitoring. So they'll send a alert to your email every time something happens on your credit report. When you make a payment, it's updated. If you miss a payment, it's updated. If something collection hits your credit report, it'll alert you. So every single event that happens on your credit report, you'll get access, and that's $24.99. Again, for Identity IQ to access your credit reports and the monitoring service through those guys. So I recommend that people do have some type of credit monitoring service so you know what's going on with your credit, because identity theft is a very big crime in America. It's the #1 financial crime is identity theft. So you want to be on top of your credit, and you don't want to wait until you actually need your credit to start to monitor and look at your credit report when you actually need to get a mortgage or a car note or a business loan or a personal loan or an apartment, because your credit is very important, because every single thing that you do, from your car insurance rates to your you getting a job, you could get declined for a job because of your credit, because you have bad credit.
Yeah.
An apartment. So all those different things factor into your credit score. So you want to definitely keep on top of that and make sure that you are accessing your credit reports through any one of those means. Again, you got Credit Karma, which is free. You got annualcreditreport.com. You have Identity IQ, and then the fourth one would be directly through MyFICO. Now, MyFICO is your official credit scores. Those are the exact same scores when you go to a dealership or you go to get a mortgage or you go to get a business loan or a personal loan. Those are the exact same things that they're looking at, that you're looking at on that website, is the exact same thing that the lenders see. All right. Now, that's a little more pricey. I really don't recommend that you go this route, but if you do go this route, I'm just giving you the information. So it's myfico.com, and it's around $40 per month. It's $41, $42 and some change per month. And you'll have access to all 3 of your credit reports. You'll get all 3 of your official FICO scores as well. And then they update your credit reports every month. So you can go look at your credit reports every day if you wanted to. The information changes every 30 days. So, all right. So that's pretty much how you access your credit reports. Again, some of them are free, some of them cost. But the important thing is that you actually take a look. No matter what method you use out of these 4, make sure that you stay on top of your credit and make sure that you're paying attention to it, even if you don't think you need it right now. Because again, it's not just whether you need it or not. Identity theft is a major crime. And a lot of people think, hey, I don't need my credit for any reason. Someone can really steal your identity, and they can do other things. You don't have to have good credit. You can have horrible credit. Identity theft is not credit identity theft. It's identity, where they can go in and rent an apartment in your name. They can go in and commit a crime in your name. You know, so it's a lot of different things that happen with identity theft. So please make sure that you stay on top of it and use one of these methods to pretty much stay on top of your credit. And again, like I said, I'll leave, if you're watching this on YouTube, the links will be in the description of the YouTube of this YouTube video. So make sure that you check it out. And if you have any questions about this, any follow-up questions, again, send us an email, moneypowerinvest@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to answer your questions and go over things with you if you need it.
Yeah.
All right.
Montique, I got a question. So, all right, someone's pulling up their credit report, but this is something that, I'm just starting to get better at. But like, what is some things like they should be looking for when they do pull a credit report?
The very first thing you want to look at is you want to look at the information to see if, like, let's say, for example, you have a credit card. You want to make sure that that history is reporting correctly. So every single item that you actually have, in real life, like your car note, a mortgage, your credit card, if you have a personal loan or anything like that, you want to make sure that it's reporting correctly. Okay. It should say paid. Say paid. All right. So it's usually on all credit reports is green. So you'll see like paid in full, paid as agreed, different things like that. All credit reports use different, acronyms and things like that. But so that's basically what the first thing you want to look for. You also want to make sure that the addresses on your credit profile is correct, because that's how identity theft happens. They'll steal they'll send your address. They'll change your address, and again, you're not paying attention to your credit report, and you won't even know that it's happening, that you're getting mail somewhere else. So you want to check your addresses. You want to make sure your name is spelled correctly on your credit profile, so it's not mixed with another person that has a similar name to yours or the same name as yours. All right. You want to make sure that your date of birth is correct. You want to make sure that that's correct. You want to make sure that your job, whatever job that you work at, is listed on there, or it's the right employer information on there, because that's listed on your credit report. So again, your name, your date of birth, your address, I forgot the other thing that I said, but you want to make sure all of those things are correct on there. All right. And if they're not correct, you can dispute those things with the credit bureaus and to get it changed, so to make sure that the information is correct, because you want to make sure that it's accurate. You want to make sure everything on your credit report is accurate. So that's another thing that you're looking for, is those things.
Now, does that have anything? So let's just say that there was a discrepancy and you got that stuff. Let's say your address was basically incorrect. Can that affect your credit score to go up or down if it's basically address, or we're more so talking about like lenders and creditors?
No, those things more so are for identity theft purposes and for accuracy. It doesn't, those things don't impact your credit score. To make sure that your payment was paid on time, that we talked about, paid as agreed, and those items in the green, you definitely want to make sure that those are correct, because if it says like 30 days late, then that definitely impacts your credit score. So but the information, as far as the address, name, date of birth, the employer, those things like that don't have any impact on your credit score at all.
Okay, cool. And I got another question as well. And now I read this and I don't know like how true it is, but is there a difference when you dispute it online compared to like you physically writing that letter or basically you typing that out?
It is a difference when you dispute it online, which we'll go over a video. Probably we'll probably do maybe the next episode or two. We'll talk about that in full. But yeah, there's a difference, because if you dispute something online, you lose your rights. If you send it through the mail, you retain your rights. All right. So I'll just leave you with that right there.
Yeah, I'm like,
so we have to, and again, that's something I have to talk about in depth, and we do have a guest on today, guys. In about 5 minutes, we do have a guest, Raquel Hall. Raquel Hall, and Raquel is a entrepreneur, a business owner. She has a podcast, and she's wonderful. I've known her for years, so we're gonna have her on. So I don't want to go too far in depth in the conversation about that, because it's a lot to cover. All right.
Cool.
All right. So, but again, make sure, guys, that you are checking your credit reports. I don't care what method that you check it. And don't be cheap, because people spend money on everything but the important things.
You're right.
So you want to don't be cheap when it comes to your credit. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So now we're going to get into something that's been that you want to discuss and bothering you. I don't want to say bothering, but go ahead and let the people know what's on your mind.
Well, no, you know what? It's been on my mind for years, and it's like I'm just now seeing the importance of it. But for the viewers, like I just want to make sure that, hey, if you don't have a mentor right now, like you basically need to get one, and whether it's going to be someone online, your friend, family, uncle, coworker, whoever the case may be, it's just valuable information that they actually possess. And the thing is like you just don't never know like what value they can actually bring to you. And honestly, I went to, and I'll be very short with time, but I moved to North Carolina without a college degree. But I actually met a mentor down there, and he more so actually had his Series 7. He had his college degree, and basically he lent me his book, his Series 7 book. I studied that information. I seen that they were hiring. I used his name. That's how I actually got the interview. And basically because I did my research on the Series 7 material, and I aced that interview. But if it wasn't for that mentor, I wouldn't be where I am right now, because I literally passed that exam without any college degree. And they really didn't want to hire me because I didn't have that college degree. But because I knew my stuff, that basically, allowed me to get that interview and get that job. And that changed my career 21 years ago.
Wow.
So
Wow.
definitely, get a mentor.
Yeah, mentor is definitely very important. And I know we were talking about implementing a mentor program for
Mhm.
people that maybe starting a business or maybe in business, and they don't have anybody to bounce ideas off of, anyone to really talk to. Maybe they can't really talk to their friends and family members, because being an entrepreneur is a different beast.
Yes.
It's a different thing, and a lot of times people don't understand us. So we're thinking about creating a mentorship program where people can join, and they can get this information from us to help them guide their path to be more successful in their endeavors. And it's not just for business owners, it's going to be just for people in general. They might want to be on a certain career path and go a certain way, and just need a word of encouragement or someone to keep them accountable. That's the
Mm-hmm.
key word.
Yep.
Accountability is the key thing with a mentor. A mentor will definitely make sure that you are accountable for the things that you say you're going to do and the things that you want to do. A good mentor will actually challenge you and push you
Yep.
to make you grow, so that you
Absolutely.
can be the best that you can be. So we definitely we'll have some information real soon about the mentorship program that me and Terrence are going to have, and how to go about signing up and things like that. So
Mhm.
I think that'll be very helpful for people, Terrence.
Absolutely. Yep. For sure.
All
Hmm.
right. So again, we do have a guest should be calling in any second.
Yeah.
Guest should be calling in any second.
Hmm.
And we're going to talk about this. I can't believe I forgot Raquel's last name.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to apologize to her, but it like totally slipped my mind. Because me and Raquel met at when I worked for HSBC
Hmm.
years ago. For like just probably like
Oh wow.
15 to 20 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
And she used to come into the branch,
Uh-huh.
and so I can't believe that I forgot her last name, because I remember all my customers, that no matter what branch I was at, like
Uh-huh.
if I see someone, or I remember pretty much everybody. It's not too many
Yeah.
people that I don't remember, and there's a lot of people that I came in contact with,
Hmm.
so definitely got to
Yeah, you're right.
apologize to her for that.
No, no worries at all. And the viewers, make sure you actually subscribe and like our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Money Power Invest.
Hmm.
We definitely would appreciate that as well. And please share the information, and if you feel it's valuable, like it, and please share it as well, and tell your friends and family about what we're doing, because we're only going to get bigger and grow.
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely. Please go to the Money Power Invest show's YouTube channel, and please subscribe and like. That helps the YouTube algorithm, help this information get out to more people. So we would definitely appreciate that if you guys could go to our YouTube channel and subscribe for us. We greatly appreciate that. All
Absolutely.
right, so now we're all set. So I'm gonna bring Raquel in.
Hi, hi, hi.
Hey, Raquel, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I owe you an apology from right now because I was just talking to Terrence and I was saying, hey, we're bringing on a guest, Raquel, and I was like, what's her last name again? And I was saying to the people right before you came on, I've known you for 15, 20 years, coming to the bank all the time, and I couldn't believe that I couldn't remember your last name is Hall. So I apologize
It's
for
okay.
that. All right.
It's okay.
All right. So thank you, Raquel, for joining us today to have a good discussion. Talking about all things finances, entrepreneurship, motivation, all different things like that. You have an extraordinary resume.
Yes.
And you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot of great things. So first off, for me and Terrence, we just definitely want to give you an applause for all of the absolute great work that you're doing in the community and all of the gifts that you're sharing with the world, which is very important. I read your bio and it's very heartwarming and it's very inspirational, to say the least.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I thank you guys for even having me on. So thank you guys so much for having me on this podcast. I am excited and honored that you guys allowed me to be on such a great platform.
Absolutely. And we appreciate it as well. So first question I want to ask you is, out of all of the things that you're doing, what motivates you the most, or what gives you the most
gratification?
The
most gratification?
Yes.
It would have to be motivational speaking, guys. I love it. And the thing is, it's crazy when I say this to people, that motivational speaking right now at this point, because not forever, just at this point, it's the one thing that I get no financial gain from. I make no money from. And this is the one thing that I love the most.
Wow.
So it's amazing. Like I tell people sometimes, everything you do don't have to necessarily, you know what I'm saying, end up in getting paid or getting money. You know what I'm saying? Your calling is your calling. It'll come. I always tell people, the financial gain will come. Don't worry about that part. So like, I'm not worried about the motivational speaking aspect because I know that people will get my voice and, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be able to do everything for free for long. So I know God is just setting me up to like wow me. So I'm excited, but that is the one thing that I am the most excited about is motivational speaking, regardless if it's on podcasts or if it's speaking to, the schools, or if it's helping, women groups, or now I have my own podcast that I'll be launching on Thursday. So it's like, whatever it is, just speaking and motivating, it just gives me so much joy and gratification. That's amazing. That it's the one thing that I get no financial gain from.
Cool. Now, let me ask you this. The one that you do get some financial gain from, how did you get into the financial services field? Because I know like we know each other for the last 20 plus years and we got money together too. So my thing is I never knew like how did you actually get into the financial service industry?
As far as being a life insurance agent?
Yeah.
So being a life insurance agent, it kind of like, I'm going to say like kind of fell in my lap.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was something I never even thought about doing. Like I tell people all the time, I never thought about being a life insurance agent. I'm like, a life insurance agent? Like who? I ain't gonna lie. I never even thought about saying, oh, I want to be a life insurance agent. Never could have paid me, never could have told me that I was gonna be a life insurance agent. But when it fell in my lap, and I got with a certain company or whatever, and a wonderful friend told me about, being a life insurance agent. I was like, they was like, you're so caring. And you know what I'm saying? You come off like you're not selling, like you care about whatever you're selling. So this might be an excellent, way for you to go. And I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I try it. Okay. And then I, went, and I always tell people I am a serial entrepreneur. I will try.
Yeah.
And if I think it's going to give me some kind of gratification, if it's just happiness and great energy or financial gain. So I knew helping people, with getting life insurance was a huge gap in our community. A lot of people, need it, but they don't want it. Yeah. So I always felt like, if people could trust me and believe what I'm saying, then maybe I can, you know what I'm saying, close that gap a little bit. So when I first started it, I was like, I don't know which way this is going to go, God, but just tell me where you want me to go with this. Because I was struggling. I tell people all the time, that insurance exam is not easy. You know what I'm saying? That is something that you really, but after I had it, I'll never let it go. Like, I love selling life insurance just because I like to walk out feeling like I just helped them. Like, God forbid they die, but everybody gonna die. I just don't know when. So yeah, that is something. It just fell in my lap. It was something I never expected to do, but everything that I'm doing was all to get me to motivational speaking. So everything, even down to starting to be a bartender, you know. But I ain't gonna go over. I ain't gonna go past what y'all gonna ask me. So
no, that's okay. That's okay. That's a good segue because that was the next question I was gonna ask you. Can you tell me a little bit about Pretty Girls on the Rocks? I know about it, but for the audience, could you tell the audience a little bit about Pretty Girls on the Rocks?
So Pretty Girls on the Rocks is a mobile bartending service. Mobile bartending service, a lot of people don't really know really kind of what that is. Like, I was the first in Buffalo, New York to, you know, have a mobile bartending service. That means that basically when people have events, we come to them. Instead of being a bartender at, you know, a club or something like that, they actually contact us and we go to different venues and we bartend, we bottle service. We even do promotional modeling. If somebody's having a new, you know, business is about to start and they want us to wear their t-shirts or walk around and help them sell their products or anything like that. So that's what, you know, Pretty Girls on the Rocks is. It's not all just, you know what I'm saying, bartending and stuff like that. We just here to basically service the community and help them in any kind of way we can to push their brand. If it consists of us walking around and giving hors d'oeuvres, you know what I'm saying? It's just some wonderful ladies that just want to help you through your situation, whatever it may be.
Okay, perfect. So now, I'm not for sure how long have you been doing the motivational speaking, but how did that transition from you basically doing, you know, the two ventures that you mentioned into motivational speaking? Because it's just like out of nowhere, I just heard you actually like on YouTube and stuff, like doing motivational speaking. So like talk to me about that transition, like what inspired that?
So I'm telling y'all, my life falls in my lap. I swear, kid y'all not, y'all. These things just fall. This is nothing that I dream about or go to sleep and I go to school and I wake up and somebody tells me, I promise you. So what happened is, of course, I've been a life insurance agent for 14 years. I've been a life insurance agent for a long time. I've been a bartender for, I don't want to tell y'all all these ages. Y'all gonna be like, dang, she old. I know she look good, but she old. but I have been a bartender for 22 years. So what happened was I was a bartender, of course, and it was easy for me to jump into the life insurance because I already had clients that already, you know, came to the bar. Then from there, having my mobile bartending service, I just went into that. And then what happened was all these things that I just told you guys, think about it: bartending, life insurance, the mobile bartending service, all these things. A, people got to trust you. B, people tell you all their business. C, people actually, you just built a clientele base. You know what I'm saying? So all these things was all my purpose for me to be a life insurance agent. I mean, to be a motivational speaker. So what happened was I started going on Facebook like once in a while. It wasn't nothing. I was just, you know, giving people advice because I give people advice all day. If it is not just my friends calling me, if it's not, you know, when I'm doing some life insurance, people asking me some advice, if it's not me giving somebody relationship, it's physical, it don't matter what it is. I'm always giving some kind of advice and helping somebody through a tough time. So one day I just decided to go on Facebook and put something up. So when I put it up or whatever, I was like, just like a motivational thing, just telling people don't give up. You know what I'm saying? You got this, blah, blah, blah. So I went into that whole thing and people started inboxing me like, man, I really needed that. Thank you so much. And it was just a one-time thing. And then people started inboxing me like, you're not going to do another one of motivational speaking again? I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing it on just Mondays. Motivational speaking on Monday. That's it. I'm not doing nothing else. I'm just going to do motivational moments on Monday. So it was motivational Mondays. That's what it was. Motivational Mondays. So I started doing it on Mondays. And then people did not just want it on Mondays. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I was like, wait a second. So I started doing it for like every day. But of course, it's still overwhelming. That's a lot to do every single day at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, okay, how about I start a show from Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. called Motivational Moments. And then I put it on Facebook. So I just transitioned into it. And it was like, I'm telling you guys, it was everything just fell in my lap. I started praying, asking God, listen, this is a lot to put on somebody, because you're telling somebody to do something Monday through Friday with no pay. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You're doing this, before I'm getting this excitement and getting, feeling good about this. Like, I'm like, wait, that might be a lot. So I started praying on it, and every day it got easier and easier. Listen, if I miss it, when I was sick and had coronavirus, I felt so like horrible that I couldn't motivate people, and I was sick, and I still wanted to get on there and motivate people, even though I'm sick and can't talk and I'm weak, because I felt like this is something God gave me. Like, he put this on me. He put all these different things. It was like a transition. It was basically, I had to trust that process that I was going through just to get to this point. So now here I am, years later. I've been doing the motivational speaking, guys, only for a year and a half. It's not something I've been doing for all these other things I've been doing for 15, 20 years. This is something I've only been doing a year and a half. And I kid you not, I feel like I've been doing this like 20 years and I haven't. But when God says it's your time, it's your time. So now I transitioned to a show that I have a lot of people that come on and watch me Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. I put it on IG now, on YouTube. I have the podcast that's starting on Thursday at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. every Thursday, called Motivational Tea. So I am spilling the tea, but motivationally, instead of spilling gossip and talking about people. I'm motivating people with some tea. Every gossip don't got to be negative. Gossip can also be some positive stuff that you be like, yo, did you hear such and such? They started from the bottom and now they here. You know what I'm saying? So basically that is what it is, Terrence. I know I just went into I tell y'all.
All right, it's all right.
Speaking, y'all, it's easy for me to talk.
No, your energy and your passion is evident. It's there. That's the right field for you to be in, motivational speaking and talking to people. And I can definitely relate to putting out the videos. You've been doing it for a year and a half. Real quick story. I did 2 Facebook Live videos and I had to stop. I did one, I was going to do it 2 times a week. I was going to do it like Monday and Thursday. I did 2 of them and I had the exact same thing that you said. My inbox is flooded with people. And I was talking about, credit and business credit and personal credit and stuff. And I got all of these people in my inbox, asking about credit, business credit, and they all became clients of mine. Right. So I had to stop doing it. So I definitely commend you on doing that, because I don't know how in the world I'm going to be able to, I'm going to eventually get back to doing it. But it's definitely a lot of work. People think you just press record and you just start talking. It's a lot of preparation that goes into it. There's a lot of a thought that has to go into it.
It might look after effects.
A lot of after effects, editing.
After I get off my show, I have like, literally, y'all, I have like 20 inboxes, and it don't be short inboxes. It be long inboxes of somebody saying, thank you so much for this. This is what's going on in my life. And I can't ignore them. So I take the time out after I already did that and sit there, and I got to read the stuff and reply right and explain to them, because now I'm transitioning to be a life coach. But it's like, when people don't realize, you know what I'm saying, that's a lot. People trust you with personal information. You know what I'm saying? They trust in you to help them. So it's not like like you just said, it's not like you're just on there speaking and that's it. People are going to call you about their own finances, their own, they want a one-on-one with you. But, a lot of people want a one-on-one, but, now I put something on my Facebook page where, you got to pay a consultation fee, because I can't, at the end of the day, my time still is money. I'm already doing the show for one thing, but I can't take this time. I can't tell, the gas and the light company, listen, I can motivate you to not shut me off.
Exactly.
I can tell you what's going to happen to you if I got to sit here in the dark. You're going to hurt some people. So no, they are not trying to hear that. So I had started with the consultation fees, but I clearly understand what you're saying, because that's a lot.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot.
It comes with a lot of stuff that you have to do, a ton of work. So people don't realize that. They think I just wake up in the morning and I be like, what I'm talking about? Oh, I'm talking about that. Let me talk about it. No, the night before, I'm looking up stuff. I'm praying. I'm talking about like I tell people sometimes, a lot of the show, sometimes it don't have nothing to do with what I prayed about, what I watched. It could be my own, something I'm going through. And I'd be like, you know what? I'm going through something inside that I know somebody else is going through. And then I put it out there, and it'd be crazy because people be like, yo, I'm going through that same thing. And I'd be like, yeah, this no joke. You know what I'm saying? So I clearly understand what you're saying.
No, that's I can super relate to that. And Terrence, when you start doing your lives, you're gonna see the exact same thing that we.
That's why I'm a little hesitant, man. I swear, I was like, I got a ton of content, but it's like I don't want to hit that live button or record button, man, because I know how crazy it's gonna be. But I got a lot of knowledge, so it's like I do want to give back. So that is the plan, you know, probably this month or next month. So
absolutely,
I got this, Terrence. We ain't worried about that. You know, you got it.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know, you ain't go. You good at that. So we ain't worried about that. It's just, you know, you just gotta be ready. That's all. I wasn't. So I'd be first to say I was not expecting that. I was expecting this just be some, like, I'm gonna be honest. I just thought I was gonna grab a phone and be like, y'all, da 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 da. Okay, see y'all later. Bye bye. And I put it down.
Okay.
I did not expect it to be beep 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 beep. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm answering one beep 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 beep. Then another one. I'd be like, wait. And then people, when you share it, I share my private, you know, what I mean, my business page. I'll share it on my personal page, and then people won't inbox me on my, you know, business page. They'll inbox me on my personal page. So now I got both inboxes going crazy. Or my phone number is on there as far as my, you know what I'm saying, my business number's on there. You can call at any time. It gets, sometimes, guys, it get overwhelming. Sometimes I get people, you know, that's going through suicidal thoughts. It's in the middle of the night. Of course, I'm going to answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I answer, but sometimes I'm like, wait a second. I got to get some kind of boundary because, wait a second. You ain't about to call TD Jakes at that time of night. You ain't about to call Eric Thomas at 2 o'clock in the morning. So hold on. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry you're going through that, but so it does get overwhelming, but I thank God I have way more, you know what I'm saying, I don't even want to complain, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, everything is going to come with some hiccups that you're going to have to fix.
Absolutely.
You know?
Now,
go ahead, Montique.
Yeah, I was just saying, this is a financial show, right? So I want to ask you something about you going to college for 3 years. So you went to the University of Buffalo for 3 years and you didn't graduate, right?
No, so, I went for business management.
Right, for business management. So you went to UB for University of Buffalo for business management. Do you think that people actually need college? And your opinion on it? 2 questions. Do you think people actually need college? Number one. And the second question is, did you get before I ask the second question, did you have student loans?
No
student loans. Okay, so that's a good thing. Because the second question was going to be, because a lot of people that don't finish college, they still have that debt, and people don't realize that. You know, just because you don't graduate, that debt is still there. So
So the question to that is, I want y'all to understand when y'all watch this show, listen, this is my personal opinion. This is not, this is what I feel. I have to let that disclaimer be out there, because some people be like, she said, no, listen, this is how I feel. I feel it matters what field you go in. If you, like me, I went for business management because I already knew that I was going to go into business. I already knew whatever I was going to do was going to be a business. There just was no doubt about it. I first started off in college, I was going to be a sports agent. That's how it started, because I love sports. So I was like, oh, you know, I can already tell I like talking. So I'm like, I love sports. I love talking. This is great. So I went, and then I found out UB, you know what I'm saying, they had a program, but Florida had a better one. But I had a child, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't leave, but I'm going to still work this out and go to college. So I still went. And then finally one day I was like, you know what? I'm spending time in I'm spending time in school. What I'm using right now, I'm not going to use this in my career. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, business aspect. I already been business. I've been had a babysitting company since I was 10. So I'm like, I already kind of was like, okay, I can't put all this time into school. So I always tell people, listen, if you're not going to school to be a surgeon, you know, a lawyer, a doctor, something that you know for sure that you have to have schooling for. No, the streets can't teach you. Your mama can't teach you. Your cousin can't teach you. A job can't teach you. Yes, go to college, because you're never going to be able to get the job if you don't have that degree. But if you know that you are going to college, and to go to college, all you want to do is start your own business, why would you sit there and rack up all those student loans to come out to start, and now you're in the negative because you still got to pay them student loans. I personally am not for one to tell somebody to do that. Only the ones who you have to. Like, we all know nobody can be a lawyer without getting a law degree. Nobody can be a doctor without getting, you know what I'm saying, your doctorate. So I understand that part. But other than that, if you going to school and you just want to start your own sneaker company, your own hair company, you want to be in a salon, you ain't got to go to college. You just go to get your, you know, credits or whatever for at beautician school, and that's it. So no, I'm bigger on trades. I would tell anybody this. I think trades are amazing. I tell my son this. I thank God he listened to me because he started to go to college. And I said, let me tell you something. You're going to rack up all them loans. Is that what you want to do? He said, well, I want to model. I want to be I want to model. I want to act, and I want to rap. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. All those things you just said, you do not have to go to college for. That is not what you got to go to college for. Do you have to take some acting classes? Yes. Could you possibly be underneath somebody where you could pay them to learn how to model? Yes. These are all trades. You don't have to go to college to do this for a 4-year, 8-year, I know so many of my friends, families who have so much, you know, debt from that. So you already coming in the game owing people. I was thankful at the time. I got into a lot of programs, you know what I'm saying? I was smart. So they helped me out so much with a lot of grants and a lot of scholarships. So I came in, them paying me. So I was thankful. But if I go back now, of course I got to pay. But I'm like, to me, it just be me talking and telling everybody, like, yeah, I graduated from college and I got a business degree. Would it change the person I am today? No, because God had this path right here for me to be a motivational speaker. So me going to college would not have changed my path from being a motivational speaker at all. I would just be a motivational speaker that has a business degree. That's it.
Okay. I got one question. So it's like, I know what school I went to, but let me ask you this did they teach you anything about financial literacy within those 3 years while you were there?
No.
Okay. All right. So when did you learn it? Or when did you learn about it?
I'm be honest with you. They didn't teach me that. Like I say that even with your program, thank God, because they don't teach you that in school. I don't even think, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The whole time I was in high school, grammar school, college, I never learned about life insurance. Like, if it wasn't for someone mentioning or me watching the commercials or me actually going to school, I kid you not, I imagine how many people do not understand life insurance. They just know that they're supposed to have it, even though they don't want it, but they don't know nothing about it. Just like they don't know nothing about stocks. They don't know nothing about, they don't know anything about these things. They don't teach us these in school. I had to actually learn myself. I'm gonna be honest with you. Google, looking up stuff, Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Instagram,
Terrence.
you know what I'm saying? Terrence, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't learn these things from knowing people or going on, you know what I'm saying, on to different things, I wouldn't have learned that. They never taught us that. And I personally believe if you're not in an actual class that's, you know what I'm saying, business that's about debt and things like that, I don't even think people understand that. Like, think about it, guys. When we start college, what is the first thing they do on the first day we start college? What do they have in the lobby?
Credit card.
I wouldn't know.
Credit cards. You got it.
Cards.
That's the first thing they push us to get is credit cards. If you really taught us, then you would know that was the stupidest thing that you could have possibly done to a college kid. Of course we want credit cards. We want a ton of them. You giving me some free money, I gotta do is sign this, and I ain't got no bad credit. I ain't got no credit. So you giving me credit cards. That was so bad. I was thankful that I was always the kind of person, I knew what those tables was about. I was like, I don't want to owe you nothing. So I had taught my son the same thing. So he don't owe credit cards besides his bank. And now I'm trying to get him, he got a small credit card to build credit, but not so he can go run it and go crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't teach you that stuff in college. So I feel like that's another reason you don't go to college, and sometimes all you're doing is accumulating more debt.
And most of the times you're not even in the field that you went to school for. That's another thing. But as far as asking me and Terrence a question, you know, again, this is a financial based show, and it's kind of interactive. Do you have any specific questions that you would like to ask in general about finances, or maybe something that you don't know, or a specific question for me or Terrence?
More so for the show. I mean, me too. But what would you say to let me give you guys an example. My son, he's 21.
Mhm.
What would something advice that you would give or steps that you would tell them to take when they first start, trying to get, their credit together and to help them to learn financial wealth and things like that? Where would you say that they should start? Like, people don't
Yeah.
even know where to start at.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. That's another reason why we started the show, is to start conversations like this so that we can get the information out to people, so people are educated and know about it. The problem with people is they don't know, just like with insurance, they don't know that they need it. They say no, that no, I don't need it, but they really do need it, but they just don't understand why they need it and why it's important. So as far
Right.
as a young person coming into the game, and I'll even go back to the age of 18, the very first thing, and again, because I was a part of that problem with the student loan thing and credit cards, because I worked at a bank, being a branch manager, assistant manager, consumer banker. I would go to the University of Buffalo and Buffalo State College and Canisius and different things like that with credit card, offering credit cards, and we would sign, kids up or whatever. And I felt that's that's a reason why I got out of the banking industry, because I didn't like how it operated, So the very
Right.
first thing that I would tell a young person is to get access to your credit. This is actually what we talked about before you came on. We were talking
Oh,
about accessing your credit reports, how to access your credit reports. So that's the very first thing that a 18-year-old should do, is get their credit report. All right.
right.
And make sure that there's no items on there. That's because a lot of times there's items on there and things like that. So you want to definitely do that, and then you want to start building credit. It could start with a secure credit card, get a secure credit card, but you want to start establishing credit on your own as a young adult. That's the very
Right.
first thing that you do. So maybe get a secure credit card and learn how to utilize it the correct way. Don't run it up like we all made the mistakes of. We got this credit card, we thought it was free money. We swiped it when we were in our early 20s and just ran up debt and didn't understand that we have to actually pay that back at some point in our life. So that's the very first step that I would do. And I will also tell parents, when your child turns 16 years old, you want to make sure, if you're in position to do this, to add them as an authorized user on your credit card as a parent.
Right.
Don't give them access to the card. They don't even have to know that they have it. So that way, at the age of 16, and you could do it with most institutions at the age of 16, on their 16th birthday. So get that credit card in their name, not in their name, as an authorized user. Don't give them access to the card. And then they'll build up a 2-year history. So when they turn 18, they already have a great, they're starting out with a 700 credit score as an 18-year-old. So that's the very first thing. The second thing I would say is to create a budget. That's another thing, is spending habits. It's okay to go buy Gucci and Jordans and all that other stuff or whatever, but it's more important to invest money into yourself as well. Put money up for yourself as well. So those are the very first two basic fundamental things that every young person should do, is have their credit straight when they're 18, get to know that when you're 18, and that second step that I said, as far as budgeting your money and things like that.
And just
That's
to
a good
even
one.
add, excuse me, just to add one onto there, and we talked about this, I believe, right before you got on as well. But I would say, if I can tell my younger self, I'd say, get a mentor, get someone that you look up to, you like what they're doing, that's positive, and basically just ask them a ton of questions, because now you basically getting all that game, whether it's 20 or 30 years of game for free, and now you're not inquiring any debt to basically obtain that information.
Uh-oh. Terrence dropped off. So
We lost them.
we
We
lost
lost
it. Yeah,
them.
he'll be back in a second. So yeah, but does that kind of answer your question? Get a mentor, get your credit, know your credit status.
No, I totally, that was good. I just put my son on my American Express. So definitely,
Good.
I would definitely say that is definitely, I agree. I just want to hear from you guys and see, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Because that is your forte. I always
Mhm.
say that is not my expertise. So ask me about something else, but no, I'm still learning. I'm into Bitcoin and, stocks and
Yeah.
trades and things like that. So I am learning every day. I have somebody who's actually like a mentor for me when it comes to the different, you know what I'm saying, stocks to grab. So I'm learning every day. Like, that's something, that I'm really into. Like, I love Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is amazing. I'm just upset that I didn't get into it last year when I was more so like, oh, I'm gonna do it last summer. And it was only like 8,000, and now we at 60,000. So I just think like, dang, if I would have had $1,000 then, you know what I'm saying? I would be well over my $1,000 right now. At least having what 30,000 by now. Like no. I ain't about to sit here and do this math. We just gonna say that I'm gonna have way more than $1,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have an extraordinary story, and we definitely want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And this will air on the 25th of March. So can you let everyone know how they can reach out to you on social media, how they can watch your new podcast, and give them all that information, how they can reach you?
Okay, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Raquel again. If you guys would like to watch me on IG, my name on IG is Raquel_motivates. On Facebook, my show is called Motivational Moments. You will see my beautiful face when you pop that on. And the podcast is going to air on both IG and on Facebook, and it's gonna air on Spotify, on Apple. It's gonna be on all those, and the podcast is gonna be called Motivational Tea. So you will find me out. It's nobody else on there. I looked it up, so hopefully nobody tries to take that name now, but that is on there. So if you want to find me on those different things, you can gladly follow me so I can help motivate, elevate, push you, help you through your journey.
Absolutely. Terrence, you got any last words for our guests?
No, you know what? Continue doing what you're doing, Raquel. It's like I just said, like I shot you that screenshot a few days ago. Once I seen everything and told you I was super proud of you. So here's your roses right now. But keep it up, and I look forward to working with you some more and seeing you grow. I mean, because you've basically been doing your thing for the last 20 plus years. So when we was thinking about, hey, who can we have on the show? Your name always was mentioned. I even told you, hey, when we get it up and running, we'll be giving you a call. So thank you for even tuning in to the show. And being
thank you guys so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate y'all. I love you, Terrence, and thank you so much. So I hopefully, I pray for y'all, and I wish y'all nothing but success on this show, and I know it will be amazing. Thanks for helping the community.
Thank you, and keep doing what you're doing for the community. Keep that passion going. You stay motivated. You stay with that positive energy, and give the people what they need, even though they don't know they need it. Just continue on your path. Again, like Terrence said, we want to give you your flowers while you're still here. We thank you for all of the service that you're doing to the community and all of the things that you're doing entrepreneurial. Keep up the good work, and we'll be definitely talking to you again.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, guys, that was a great guest there, Terrence.
Oh yeah,
the energy is undeniable, and the happiness, you could tell that she got a platform and she want to get it out. She want to get out, what she wanted to say. So that's definitely wonderful. So guys, make sure you check out her podcast. Follow her on social media, and definitely reach out to her. She's a very phenomenal woman. So. Absolutely. Sure. So that's it for this episode number 3. And it feel like episode 100 right now, so but
you're right.
So guys, make sure that you please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes,
the Money Power Invest Show on YouTube. Also like us on Facebook. It's the Money Power Invest Show on Facebook. You can reach me personally at Montique Shelton on Facebook, and Montique Shelton at Montique Shelton on Instagram. Also, if you have any questions pertaining to the show, please send us an email at moneypowerinvest@gmail.com. Again, everything that we talked about in the show, there will be links on Facebook if you're watching this on YouTube, because our podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify. You can listen to the audio version on anywhere that you can listen to a podcast. Is on all of the platforms. But the main part of the show is on YouTube. So if you guys could please subscribe to our YouTube channel, we would greatly appreciate it. Absolutely. And any parting words, Terrence?
Yes. And also, even if you want to be one of our special guests, basically, please send us an email as well, because we would love to actually have you and see exactly, hey, how can we merge together and bring your knowledge and on our platform so you can share with the world. So that's more so it. But also, if you're looking to reach me or follow me or get in contact with me, I'm on all social media sites under TL underscore Dubois. That's TL underscore Dubois. So that's Facebook and Instagram. And definitely check me out. It's like we definitely have a lot of content, and we love to share that with you. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And I hope you guys gain something from this information as we try to educate, motivate, inspire, and empower. So that's what our goal is here on the Money Power Invest Show. And so we'll see you guys next week. We appreciate all of the support, all of the kind words, and all of the comments and inboxes that we get. We really appreciate you guys, and we got a lot more content coming. So
Yes.
have a good week, guys, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
All right. Salute.